Before we head into our next clip, I have a question to ask you. Are you part of the 16% of folks who are happy with Congress? Really? Or are you part of the 84% that are pretty upset? Now, we at TYT are always finding new ways for you to step in and make a difference. Our next clip is brought to you by fireyourcongressman.com. The URL obviously speaks for itself. This applies to your congressman or anyone else's for that matter. You can donate directly against any member of Congress you don't like. So head over to fireyourcongressman.com.
A CNN reporter was punished by Trump administration officials for asking questions that Donald Trump did not appear to like. Kaitlan Collins is the name of the CNN reporter, and she's a White House correspondent for CNN, and she said that she was called into the West Wing and chastised by administration officials for what they deemed inappropriate questions that she had asked of Trump during an Oval Office photo opportunity. She was quoted as saying, "They did not like the questions I asked President Trump about the news of the day." Now, other reporters who experienced the interaction said that she didn't do anything out of the ordinary. She did what most journalists do when they ask the president a question during a situation like this. But to give you a sense of how it all went down, there is, of course, video footage of her asking these questions. So let's take a look at that.
Michael Cohen betray you, Mr. President?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, did Michael Cohen betray you?
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, are you worried about what Michael Cohen is going to say to prosecutors?
Thank you, Kaitlan. Let's keep going.
Are you worried about what is on the other tapes, Mr. President?
Thank you all. Let's keep going. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody.
Why has Vladimir Putin not accepted your invitation?
Keep going. Come on. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Let's go. Come on, guys. Thank you very much.
We're done. We're done. Let's go. Why is Vladimir Putin not accepting your invitation, Mr. President?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so let's note a couple of things here. So they said that their three complaints about her was inappropriate questions. I don't know what in the world could be inappropriate about those questions. Michael Cohen's in the news. It's an enormous part of the news cycle around Donald Trump. There's tapes of him talking about paying off his mistress. Nothing could be more newsworthy about a president. Could you imagine if Obama had done likewise and someone asked, "Hey, Mr. President, why did you pay off your mistress?" She didn't even say it that rudely, right?
No, she didn't.
She just asked about Michael Cohen's tapes. I literally can't think of a more relevant question in the news cycle.
There was nothing rude. I mean, she was not rude in asking those. Like, he didn't like the questions, which was evident in the expression on his face as those questions were being asked. Like, that's why I was kind of laughing when we came back from the video, because he was like,
yeah, because he's a child and he does.
He hates it. I get it. You don't like.
Right.
You're the president, though, and it is a reporter's duty to hold a person in a position of power accountable for his actions. Like,
the second question was about Putin. You invited him to Washington. He chose not to come. So, I mean, what else do you ask a president? If Obama had asked the leader of China to come and he had said no, or he changed his mind, you'd ask him about that. There's nothing more appropriate and relevant. Okay, number two was they said she was too loud. You guys just saw the tape. Everybody was loud.
There was chaos in the control room.
That's right. I mean, like, she was closer to the mic, so we heard her slightly more clear, but there was a cacophony of noise in there. I mean, then I guess everyone should be banned because everybody was too loud, right?
Right.
And then the third thing they said is that she wouldn't leave the room. You saw her in the room with everyone else.
Right.
It's on tape, it's right there. They're asking everybody to leave.
Right.
It's not like everyone had left and she's the only one there and chained herself to the desk.
Right, everyone is slow to leave because everyone wants to ask questions. They're reporters, that's what they want to do. But she eventually left. She didn't get into some sort of physical altercation or verbal altercation with anyone. And so she was shocked to find that the administration officials had called her into an office and essentially told her, you are not allowed to cover a Trump event that's open to reporters later today. So let's hear from Kaitlan Collins herself. She recounts this whole situation in the next clip.
Then later, I was called into the office of Bill Shine, the president's latest hire, who is his right-hand man for communications. It was him and the press secretary, Sarah Sanders, who told me that I would not be invited to an open press event here in the Rose Garden moments later at the White House because they thought the questions that I posed to President Trump were inappropriate for that venue.
Okay, so as soon as I saw this, it broke right after we finished the show yesterday. And I thought, this is a little extra. I wonder what's going on here. And then I saw Bill Shine's name in one of the articles. I was like, boom, of course that's what happened. So Bill Shine used to work at Fox News. He was one of the top executives there. He was involved in the scandals there, et cetera. He left. Now he's the newly appointed Deputy Chief of Staff of Communications. This has got Bill Shine written all over it. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, bing, that's the answer. Now, some people say he might have just been doing Trump's bidding because Trump, as you saw on the tape, is so mad, he might have just told him, I don't care, ban her. Well, Mr. President, it's not a good idea. I don't care, ban her. That does sound like Trump, so that's certainly possible as well. But this is a Fox News maneuver, right? And now, to be fair to Fox, they are now standing with CNN's reporter. But this is old school, Roger Ailes, Bill Shine, Fox News thing. We punish our opponents. You asked the wrong question. Not only am I punishing you, I'm sending a message. Hey, everybody else, you better watch yourself. Because if you ask questions we don't like, maybe somehow you lose access. And then you can't do your job as the person covering the White House. If you don't have any access, you can't cover the White House. You just lost a great job. This is a shot across the bow, and it has Bill Shine written all over it. And by the way, later you find out, as she just explained, yeah, she got called into his office.
Right.
He's the one that led this.
So let's hear from Bill Shine. I mean, he's gotten a lot of backlash as a result of this, and here's what he has to say about it.
You ask her if we ever use the word ban. I've seen it on lower thirds.
What word would you use, Bill? What word would you use?
When you ask her if we ever use the word ban, then I will answer that question.
You prohibited her? What's the word you would use?
You ask her, focus now. You ask her if we ever use the word ban.
No, why don't you just tell us what you allegedly said to her if you didn't use the word ban?
No, that was great. That was. It's both cocky and shows his ignorance all in one fell swoop. It's such a fair question. Oh, you say you didn't use the word ban. I'm a reporter. You're coming out to clarify because you're mad at how I'm covering it. So I'm going to do the most natural thing in the world. Okay, great. And I'm actually doing you a favor. How do you want me to cover it? What actually happened? What was the word that you used? I'm not going to tell you. You should ask her first. Okay, I got it.
Right.
I got it. So you told her that she couldn't come. Maybe you didn't use the word banned, but you said prohibited or you're not allowed. What difference does it make? And you just revealed it by saying that you won't tell us.
Exactly. So I also want to, of course, point out to the fact that Trump himself has been very aggressive in going after media outlets, specifically CNN, who he believes are going after him and criticizing him too much. Now, for me personally, it's hilarious that CNN is the news organization that he targets the most, considering the fact that CNN goes out of its way to be overly fair to him. And what I mean by that is they try to pretend like they don't have any type of bias. They're neutral, meaning if Republicans are caught doing something wrong, they won't say it. Far too often, they'll go ahead and defer to the Republican side of the story and then just kind of let the viewers decide, oh, who's telling the truth? We don't want to appear like we have a bias. They're so afraid of offending the president that they've gone further to the right if you watch any of their content. So it's just—
In fact, can I just say, Anna, I mean, look, Kaitlan Collins, I support her completely in this situation, and I support CNN in this situation, and it's about freedom of the press overall. But Kaitlan Collins comes from the Daily Caller, which is a massively right-wing blog. So, I mean, we'll talk more about that in the postgame, tyt.com/join. Become a member, get all of our shows, including the postgame. I want to talk about that. So I'm not criticizing her for it, but here's CNN reaching out to a pretty disreputable blog on the website that's massively right-wing to get a reporter, and then does it work? No, and by the way, again, I'm not criticizing Kaitlan Collins. She asked good, tough questions that a reporter should, right? But did it work in appeasing the right wing? No, it never works. He calls you an enemy of the people anyway.
Exactly, and you know, to go to graphic 25 and just really drive this point home. At a rally on Tuesday, Trump encouraged his supporters to ignore coverage of his administration, saying what you're seeing and what you're reading is not what's happening. He hates when journalists do their jobs. He hates them. And he has been attacking the media incessantly ever since he before he came into office, as he was campaigning. He doesn't like any negative press, even though he's deserving of negative press.
I mean, I don't know that there's anything more Orwellian than don't believe what you see. He just literally said, don't believe what you see. What are you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes? Right? It's the most brazen thing I've ever seen in my life. And the reason the right wing does not like anything that brings you information is because they would like to replace it with their propaganda. They don't want you to learn the truth. That's why they're against the media. That's why they're against universities and professors. That's why they're against scientists. And so it's not at all surprising. But to be fair and give credit where credit is due, all the rest of the media backed Kaitlan Collins, which is great, including Fox News, including their new head of Fox News and their chief political correspondent, Bret Baier.
Yes.
So credit to all of them for doing the right thing.
Yes, and quick clip from Bret Baier showing his solidarity with Collins. Take a look.
As a member of the White House press pool, Fox stands firmly with CNN on this issue of access. So far, no response from the White House.
Okay, I'm amused by his kerchief, but other than that, way to go, Bret.
That was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. And look, it's in some ways a layup for Fox News because they don't want to get banned under Democratic presidents, but still, when you do the right thing, you should be applauded for it. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber, and second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.